So after the short Jag stint, what was the next move after that?
I actually got a call from the Apollos, the AAF, shortly after, which was it was a league. It was around the 2018, 2019. It was a good league. Charlie Ebersol owned it, I think. He sold it to somebody, and that guy was money hungry. He wanted to use the technology from the league, and he took it, and he wanted to compete with the NFL, which was the dumbest thing you could do because there's nobody's going against the Shield.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and he wanted the NFL guys to bring their players over from practice squads and stuff, which was never going to work out the way he wanted it to, and he wanted to force things, and he just was a small fish in a big pond. But the AAF was great. I mean, a lot of good people, got coached up, made some money for the first time, because in training camp you get paid, but it's not too much money. In the AAF, we made some pretty good money, so I got a chance to, learn how to, well, not learn what to do with money, but I made some money, and first time you make money, you're gonna blow it. Second time you make money, you're gonna blow it again a little slower. And the third time is when you sit down and you're like, okay, let me invest some of this money now and do something with it.
Okay. So I was actually gonna ask you about that. I'm glad you actually brought that up. So
Yep.
with the AAF shutting down, I think when they shut down like 4 or 5 games into the season.
I think
was it?
5 weeks in.
5 weeks in.
5 or 6, yeah.
So how did that happen? Like how did that go down? How was that for you? Like what was your experience?
I remember, I'll never forget, it was a Tuesday. I had bought a car that morning. And we go there, we go to team meetings, we get to the stadium, go to practice, and they sit us down, they're like, yeah, the league's folding, you guys have to go home. And it was just crazy, because like I said, I bought a car that morning. And so just for that to happen like that, it was just, that's why I will never forget, because I bought a car the same day the league folded. And, I had the money for the car, that wasn't a big deal, but just the fact that we weren't going to keep getting paid and we we're going to keep playing was crazy and so abrupt. Guys couldn't get film. After the season, I wasn't able to go back and say, hey, can I get film from this? Because the media team was like, we can't give you anything because we don't really own it. They came and filed bankruptcy pretty quick. So guys weren't able to get film, so I couldn't get anything from that league, which didn't help me going forward and try to get other opportunities.
So you guys didn't get paid out the rest of your contract and nothing. It was just like, all right.
They ended up giving us a settlement. This was, I think, maybe last year, but they owed us another, because I was on the best team. We would have won the championship, and we would have made another $30,000, $40,000. And they maybe gave us a couple $1,000s last year, nothing crazy. But that whole thing was crazy though.
Yeah, man, that's wild. I actually had so one of the video coordinators from my school actually went up became the video coordinator of the Atlanta Legends, and he was trying to come back to Cookman. We was like, why? He was like, the league just folded. And we was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he uprooted everything and just went with the AAF, and they just folded like randomly, man.
Yeah.
So I knew it had to be crazy for the players as well if it was just crazy for him like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I mean, for guys that didn't live in Florida, well, luckily the teams were based on where you lived. So we were a Florida team, and we were good because we were a Florida team. We had everybody was from Florida, or most guys were from Florida. So we dominated that league because we had the best athletes, I feel like, and there's a lot of NFL talent on that team. We have guys. Dearness Johnson played with us. He's with the Jags now, which is a crazy story. Me and Dearness used to sit because we came to Jacksonville for a little while and stayed here. So we used to sit right across from the stadium, across the water at a hotel, and eat lunch and talk about football. And to see him now being successful, and he was in Cleveland a couple of years, now he's in Jacksonville, and I pray he gets a good shot here because he can play football. It's just crazy to think that he took that and made it to this.
I mean, y'all had a few ballers. Y'all had Reggie Northrup.
Yep.
Y'all had a few ballers on
Yep.
the team, man.
Garrett Gilbert, he's actually still in the league right now.
Yeah.
Ish Hyman, he's playing in the USFL now. Yeah, we had a good amount of. Keith Reeser was a guy who was an NFL corner out there, and he was a problem. He led the league in pick sixes. The day after the league folded, he got a call that same day. Say, hey, pack your bags, you're coming to, I think he went to Kansas City after that. But it was, we had some real good players on that team.
Gotcha. Okay. So after the AAF, what was next after that?
The XFL came around, and that was maybe a year after.
Yeah, that was 2020. The XFL, the second new XFL.
Yeah. The second stint. Yeah, that came, like I said, like a year after, and Funny enough, the GM from Orlando was the GM in Tampa. So, me and him got along good in Orlando. I was the youngest guy on that team in Orlando. We had a bunch of vets, and I played. So, me and him were real cool, real close. He brought me into Tampa, and that situation was another great opportunity. It didn't work out in my favor, with certain politics and how things went, but like I said, every opportunity you get to play the game you love is a blessing. No matter what happens here, what happens there, you get a chance, you're blessed. Because a lot of guys wish they got a chance and wish they could go out there and be on the field and be around the guys and get paid to do what they love. And that's anybody and anything, not just football.